Of course, we're here for Slap News with Reiley Montoya, Future Watch. How you doing today?
Not too bad, man. Hanging in there.
Awesome. Let's start right from the beginning. Little Reiley, what was it like growing up, and where did you grow up?
I grew up in Simi Valley, California. Um, it's kind of just all of us brothers raising ourselves, kind of just no supervision per se. There was some adulting, but not at its best,
Mhm.
And no hate to them, no hate to my mom or my dad. Um, but there was really no one around. We got away with murder every day. We kind of just basically just street knowledge, that type of stuff. We kind of just kept to ourselves, and I don't know if you've seen that show Shameless, but we're basically like that.
Okay, gotcha. Did you attend school? And if you did, what type of student were you?
Yeah, I attended school, graduated, but I went to like I guess a regular high school, but from then I transferred to a continuation high school, which is a lot smaller, a lot more, you know, teachers are on a first name basis. You don't need a backpack. You don't get homework. It was pretty
Okay.
chill. But I was an asshole. I was a terrible kid, terrible student, truant all the time. Didn't show up. When I did show up, I wasn't showing up mentally. I didn't really care for it. I just wanted to make people laugh. That's what I
Mhm.
like to do, at my expense too. Figured that's the way to just get friends. Why I'm not going to be a nerd. How is that going to make any friends? So I just started making people laugh.
Mhm.
And in hindsight, I know now that wasn't the right move, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Well, if you weren't attending school, what were you doing?
If I wasn't attending school, what was I doing? Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Jacking
Um,
cars, anything exciting?
okay, we're talking about high school, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we're talking about high school. No, I was just yeah, I mean, hanging out with other delinquents that shared the same. Um, I don't even know if you'd call it passions. I don't know if alcohol
Mhm.
is really a passion, but drinking in public, hanging out. I like footage. I like clips. I like getting film of me getting hurt because I thought that made more people laugh, more people like me. So I still have an Instagram actually that's up because I don't remember the password and I got signed
Mhm.
out of it. But there's tons of footage of me bleeding, getting hurt, getting tased, set on fire, hanging off buildings, all that stuff. I grew up watching Jackass, so that was kind of my niche that I kind of just decided to live in for a bit.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, definitely, probably not the best inspiration as kids, but it got you here through to this day.
Yes, sir.
Did you do any athletic endeavors while you're growing up? Did you play sports at all?
Yeah, I played football in high school. I was a bit bigger back then, so I was on offensive line. I was right and left guard, so I just kind of stood. I had no clue what I was doing.
Crazy. So
No clue.
how much did you weigh to play guard?
Honestly, I didn't weigh that much though. Was the thing. I just looked like I
Interesting.
did. I
Okay.
weighed I weighed I think like 180 something in I think it was junior year. So I really wasn't that big.
Mhm.
But they decided, oh, he has a double chin. Let's put him here. So that worked.
So double chin. I mean, dude, you look super thin and in great shape now.
Thank you.
So you said 180. Was that the biggest you got to?
Yeah, well, when I was drinking alcohol and I was like, you know, I didn't go to a gym. I didn't do anything.
Mhm.
I think I ballooned up to about 195. I might have gotten higher than that though, but I was afraid to step on a scale after I saw that. So who knows?
Crazy.
Yeah, I might have
Crazy.
went to 200. I'm not sure.
Hmm. So what made you want to lose the weight? Was there something in your life that happened?
Girls.
Okay.
I wanted more girls. Yeah, I wanted to. No, but in all seriousness, yeah, once I quit alcohol, whether I wanted to or not, the weight just fell off. Once I stayed in the gym, kind of got familiar with, okay, this is this workout, and got a routine and some structure down, and actually took it seriously. I started to see progress, and I was like,
Hmm.
okay, this is pretty addicting. Actually, I want to go back again. And I just kept going back and watched what I ate, and I started taking it seriously probably the end of my senior year of high school, and
Okay.
kind of haven't really looked back since. I have my off days though. I get lazy. I won't lie.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think everybody gets lazy at time to time, but I mean, the recovery is definitely not a bad thing either. Helps you, helps your joints, helps you, be able to
Yep,
grow and stuff like that.
100%.
Like, were you much of a Street Fighter growing up?
Yeah, yeah. I actually, when I was growing up, I think I was about 16. I put an ad out on Craigslist and put my address on it and said, I want to start an underground fight club. Swing by, hit me up. Here's my number. I got hundreds of death threats, pictures of my house, pictures of neighbors that they thought could have been me. Um,
Hmm.
so with that being said, I skipped that, deleted that, and just yeah, we just fought in the streets. Me and friends, either put gloves on or just bare knuckle. And aside from like real fights where I didn't necessarily initiate or knew were going to happen, but you know, I looked at it as more pain. It's just funny. As long as it's on video and we can post it, I don't
Hmm.
care if I'm getting hurt. Just post it.
Crazy. So okay, so this whole Fight Club thing, how did this come about, and what was your thought? Like, was this like to go viral in social? I mean, like, is that the new generation of like, hey, this is what we want to do to get that social clout online?
I didn't even, I don't think at the time I even had an Instagram, or I don't even know what was out at the time.
Hmm.
I'm sure I maybe had whatever was out at the time, but I never posted that directly to it.
Yeah.
I just literally just for fun, just to see if I can actually start an underground cool fight club. Because to backtrack a little bit, I'm just a kid with no supervision, all this pent up aggression, whether it be because of my dad leaving or my mom going to jail. I got nothing to do, and I can't just keep drinking and keep drinking. I mean, I did, but
Hmm.
I wanted to fight. I wanted to let some anger off. I figured that would have been a cool way to do it, because I figured a lot of misfits like me would stumble across that. No one well off and smart would see that. I don't think they'd be on Craigslist looking for that.
Totally. How old are you now?
I'm 26.
26. Okay. Um, you know, how long ago did you kind of get serious about, becoming an athlete, and then, potentially even, I mean, registering for Power Slap? Like, how long ago did that kind of start percolating in your mind?
That happened, let's see. I think that happened in about at the end of April, maybe early of March. I was just scrolling TikTok, and I was living at my mom's boyfriend's house at the time, and I was just a nuisance there. I'll be honest. I was an absolute piece of shit, and I was just causing problems left and right. Thank God they kicked me out. But I was scrolling TikTok this night, and I believe it was, who was it? I think it was No Love, who just smacked the shit out of some redheaded stepchild, and all this freaking smoke, just all this chalk, just blew up on his face. So I clicked the link, and I'm like, how do you sign up for this? What's the process like? I see the process, turned it in application, whatever, sent in whatever, and then I got to reply back, Zoom call, and all that stuff.
Awesome, man. You get the Zoom call, the interview. At that point, you probably don't know if you're going to move forward or not. But did you
Yeah,
take training seriously?
yeah, yeah. I ended up taking it actually from the first reply that I got on my emails. I was like, okay, I'm doing this, and it wasn't even a hey, we're moving you forward. It wasn't even a guarantee. It was just I think it was a confirmation thing. But I mean, I was so driven for change that I put all my eggs in this basket and I ran with it.
Awesome. I mean, at that point, you get kicked out of where you're staying. And you're getting an opportunity to join Power Slap. Like, what does that training look like? I mean, I don't know what resources you had available to you, but how did you start to prepare?
How I started to prepare started mentally. It didn't start in the gym. It didn't start with, what do I do? How hard do I slap? Let me see. It started mentally. I had to dial in and be like, you know what, I'm going to put my chin out and get slapped as hard as that person can slap someone. And so it started mental, didn't start with, okay, do I get paid? I actually went into this when I got into meeting everybody. I said, yeah, do we get paid for this? And they said, yeah. I didn't know I was going to get paid to be in there. So I didn't even know that I was going to get a check at the end of it, which was a huge shocker to me, but I was stoked. I was doing it for free just to get out, of the house. But, it started mental. After, I was kind of dialed in, I started hitting the gym, started working, focusing on arms. And, at the time I was like, what kind of neck exercise do I do? Like, do I just nod my head? But, after looking it up online and, searching little threads, I was able to find some cool workouts I could do, and some weight resistance, some bands, and, then I went from there.
Awesome, man. I mean, you talked about on the show living out of your car at that time.
Yeah.
So, I'll just relate it and say it's kind of like that starving artist phase. Like, did you look at it as that, this was the struggle, the rock bottom, the, having to grind through to be able to have the success on the other side?
Yeah, you know what? It was kind of a starving artist type of vibe that I had, but you know what? In a more real sense, it was all self-inflicted. It was all due on my part. It was all my bad. I put myself in situations in which I would be in this shittier situation. So it was hard to really keep motivation, because it's like, well, I did it to myself. Let me suffer. I deserve this. This is literally what I drove myself to, you know. Um, but once I kind of got past that barricade and was, what it's only up from here. Instead of just thinking, all right, I'm at the bottom, I'll just chill here.
Mhm.
I really started taking shit seriously. But living in my car, it was definitely tough. But one night I got out of my car. I was living in this parking lot that I knew cops didn't frequent. So I'm sitting there, not on my phone, not on anything. I get out of my car and I just drop on my knees and start thanking God. I get back in my car, right? And I'm thinking to myself, you know what? If I was sitting in a room right now in a comfy, warm bed with blanket over me, maybe a couple snacks, maybe some TV going, I wouldn't drop to my knees and pray. I would
Mhm.
just watch TV, eat until I fell asleep or something like that. But the
Yeah.
fact that I dropped to my knees and pray, I needed that. I needed to be grounded, humbled, have some humility. I had to come back down to earth, and
Mhm.
I wouldn't change a thing. I'm humble, very glad that happened.
Yeah. I mean, I gotta ask you though, man, like, because you sitting here today, very articulate. You seem like a smart young man. You seem like you got your shit together. Um, like, I guess, was this as a circumstance of the situation that you were put in that you kind of had this path? Because I mean, dude, you seem like a very intelligent person that can really do whatever he wants in life.
Yeah, I mean, what? First, I appreciate that. Thank you. Um, I don't know, man. I just, I, I, I can't put blame on anybody else. I can't really say, this is how I was brought up. That's a cop out, and I'm not really a fan of cop outs. It just sometimes it just is what it is. You fucked up, own it, live with it, no matter how long it takes. Just try to thug it out and go from there. And that was my attitude. It was, I did this. This is no one's fault but my own. These are my consequences. This is what's going on now. Let's rub two sticks together and let's make some fire. Let's make something happen. And sure enough, you know now I have my little studio apartment, thank God. And my car's sitting in a parking lot, thank God I'm not in it.
Awesome, man. Yeah, I was going to ask you. So, did this whole power slap thing change your life for you? And like, did it help you get the studio apartment?
100%, 100%,
That's
100%.
that's awesome. Man. I'm going to ask you a couple of things because I'll poke the fun at you. You're in California, and it looks like you're wearing a Shaka Wear bomber jacket in the middle of the summer. Is it not hot enough for you?
Bro, now that I have a studio, I got AC, so I have it blasting.
Awesome, awesome. I see the hat in the background. What's that all about?
It's good vibes only. I like to live by that, just good vibes. Even that was kind of my mantra in the house. With all the fighting and shit going on, it was really easy to slip into that and get let things boil over and get emotional and let it get to you. But I was just happy to be there, man. At the end of the day, I was so happy to be there, and
Hmm.
just just kept rocking with it. That's it.
Yeah. Talk to me about the brass knuckles. Is that paying homage to your past?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. It's been a wild pass, and
Uh,
I like to bring little things like that, and if you were here, you'd see some of it.
Awesome, man. Have you used those brass knuckles on anyone's
No, no, I
jawline?
have not. Not yet, but never mind. Not yet.
Okay, okay. Awesome, man. A little bit about the house. I mean, you get there to Las Vegas. You've probably never been in a scenario like that. Um, you know, Phenomenal house, unlimited food, liquor. You've got guys that are seemingly off the preview, probably not the best influence in a lot of ways. Were you ready for that, or was it a bit of a shock? And did you really have to try to, go to religion, and humble yourself, ground yourself, so that you didn't get into the extracurricular activities?
Well, man, good question. Love that. Um, when I went into the house before I got in, but like for example, when I was on the plane and I knew I was actually going there. Um, oh, I'm sorry, the bus actually going there to the house. It was it, it wasn't really shocking. I just told myself just be prepared for anything, good, bad, ugly. Just be prepared for everything. It's all right. It's gonna be okay. But no, most definitely turn to my faith. Most definitely, because that's all I had. I mean, from living in my car to living in a beautiful house in Vegas for the time being on a show. I mean, that just in an instant for me, my life went from sitting in a car alone in a parking lot where I used to work to here. I mean, it was just, you know, absolutely wild. But with with my addiction and habits that aren't too good, and then obviously having a bunch of liquor as much as you want for free in the house in front of me, um, I I like that. I like a little spiritual warfare. I like to be disciplined, and I don't want discipline to come easy. And it was definitely some strength training for sure with me staying sober, and it was that was no learning curve for me. Definitely wasn't a learning curve for me. I see any alcohol anywhere. Of course, my mind goes to, give me that.
Mhm.
But it was cool, man. It was really cool. Everyone respected my my views on alcohol and my past, and we're too cool about it.
Awesome, man. Yeah, I mean, I haven't had a drink in over 15 years myself, so
God bless you,
good on
man.
you,
Right
man.
on.
Yeah. Um, Talk about how has your life changed after coming out of the house?
After coming out of the house, how my life has changed. I've been working nonstop, nonstop. I didn't take any days off when I got back. I didn't do nothing like that. I immediately got a job on the books. So I'm working two jobs right now. Um, have kept myself busy. Have had structure and schedule every week. Kind of like how it was in the house. I would wake up, drink caffeine, and then fast. That's how it would be, and I liked that. There's structure to the craziness of the house. But how my life has changed, man, is I'm. I mean, I could name a million things. I mean, I have a couch, I have a bed, I got a TV, I got a roof over my head that isn't a car roof. I have AC, I got a front door, and it's all these blessings around me. This is no small feat. This is awesome, man. It's awesome, and I'm definitely working really hard to keep up with rent and car stuff and just everyday things you got to pay for and stuff like that.
Mhm. Talk to me, man. Like, what does a typical day in your life look like? What do you do from the time you get up until you go to bed?
Well, luckily I don't work my second job today, but if I did, which is usually more often than not, I would wake up, chug a Bang energy drink on an empty stomach, go to work in Simi Valley, and whatever we have to do there. It's in the movie industry. It's just hauling trailers to and from set, um, and stuff like that. Just necessities for sets. So, however, the hours vary. I'm sure you know that. Just do whatever I'm told. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. That's my attitude. And do what I got to do, and then after that, before 6 p.m., head to FedEx, start working for FedEx until about midnight. Go home and either have the energy to shower and clean myself up, or just knock out right here on the rug. You know, that's pretty much it.
Gotcha. What about training? Do you get time to
Training,
train power slap at all?
you know what? In the beginning, I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't know how to train. But what I did do to combat that, because, I was like, you know what? You really, it's coming up. You're not really doing much. You don't know how hard you can swing. What I did do to combat that was I paid attention to the rules, and I learned the rules first. I was like, okay, feet got to be here. I guess there's a box when I get there. They can't go out of that. Oh, okay. I can't lift my foot. Okay. Oh, don't turn. Okay. And I just, I learned the rules before I learned actually how hard I could hit. And then once I saw how hard I could hit, there's punching bags at the gym. I just went there and, you know, granted there is kind of an echo in the gym, so it sounded louder than maybe it was. But I didn't pay attention to that. I slapped the shit out of bags and, you know, let it echo and felt pretty good there. But I mean, that's as far as that goes, just working out arms, weights, a little bit of cardio here and there.
Mhm.
But, because I was coming down from, I think, 173 to one, no, I'm sorry, 163 to about 155. So I started cutting when I got the call that I was going down. So definitely a little bit of cardio, but more so weights, watching what I eat, and definitely dropping my calorie intake probably a little under half, maybe having like 500, 600 calories a day. And then again, I'm living in my car, so it's kind of too easy not to eat.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, man, training was definitely a hiccup for me. I
Yeah.
didn't feel like I was doing as much as I could until I actually got onto the show, saw, the coaches telling me how they train. Hey, try this. I was so thankful for that because I honestly didn't know what exercises and little tips I could do to help me out.
For sure. Like I know you said you came down from, the mid, 190s. When you had to cut that 8 pounds, like, did you know how to do it, or were you just searching online? Like how did you figure it out? And then how did you
I had no
ultimately do
clue.
it? Did you just cut your calories and through natural work, just the weight came off?
Yeah, yeah. I I like to push myself, and when I was asked, okay, you're at 160, whatever. Do you want to go to 170, gain 5 pounds, or do you want to lose about 8 or 9 pounds? And I
Mhm.
just took the bumpy road. I was like, you know what? Let me lose all this weight because I want to be more thin. I used to look way better than this. So, no, I have no idea how to cut weight. Well, now I do, but at the time I had no idea.
Mhm.
So I just stopped eating, just drank a bunch of water, and that's how I went about it. Through my physical job at work, it's taxing. I'm losing weight and I'm lifting a bunch of this or that. I'm burning calories for 8 hours a day.
Mhm.
Then I hit the gym, and I mean, it worked perfect. It definitely worked out. I think like 2 pounds to cut when I was actually like before my fight. So it was too easy. Once I had all the guys'
Mhm.
help, it's too easy.
Yeah, I mean, there's a little trick in there, and especially if you're doing it fasted on only an energy drink, you can accumulate a lot of, fat burning, staying in that catabolic state for sure.
Yep,
So
absolutely.
awesome, man. I don't want to give away what happens on the rest of the show, but where are you at right now, sitting here today, mentally, physically? Like, do you want to make Power Slap a career?
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. Where I'm sitting at right now after the show, mentally, physically I feel great, you know. Mentally, I feel great. I think that's an understatement. Seeing these episodes come out, I know there's only two, but it's I mean, they're crazy. They look amazing. They're so sick, and it's just a blessing, man.
I'm sure I mean, you're less than 24 hours now since the match is released. How has the reception been? Is your phone blowing up?
Phone's been blowing up. Phone's been blowing up. Yeah, I've had a lot, and the kid is great. Isaac, he's a badass dude. I got nothing but nice things to say about him. He's a great dude. Whether he says, the same about me. I think he's a good dude. Um, I think he was clubbing more than freaking Snooki, but that's okay. Everyone was flooding my phone. He's clubbing. He's clubbing. He's clubbing. I didn't think he was, but when I watched the episode, it definitely seemed like he was clubbing. Wasn't getting called for it though. Um, is what it is. Um, but it wasn't called, so maybe it just looks like it. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So is what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got a home here on Slap News. Whenever you need anything, feel free to reach out. One last one. Where can people follow you on social to watch your journey?
If they want to, they can follow me on Instagram at slapshady_. That's where I'm at. Also follow Slap Bros. PS Slap Bros. That's it.
Awesome, my man. So Slap Shady, were you an Eminem fan growing up?
Still am.
Still am. What do you think of his
Yeah.
last album?
What's up?
Did you get a chance to listen to his last album?
Oh, absolutely.
What do
Yeah,
you
I'm
think of it?
still dissecting it and trying to get through all the punchlines and really see it. But man, he's definitely canceled. Yeah, definitely people trying to cancel him. He said a lot of stuff that I definitely am behind for sure.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Appreciate you joining me. Much love.
Thank you, brother. Much love. You take care.